So I'm here talking with John Eckhardt, who is the president of Code Pros based in Minneapolis. And we're going to talk about the experiences that he had launching his own company 10 years ago. I understand, John, you were not a salaried worker somewhere else, but you had a series of jobs that you would do for individual clients.
hmm
What made you decide that you had to stop being just like kind of this itinerant consultant and start your own business, your own, you know, serious official business with employees?
Yeah. If I can back up even further than that, my dad started to teach me how to program when I was 9, and I really liked it. Traded programs between my friends at QBasic throughout high school, and then went to school for computer science. But before I was completely done with school, I got a job freelancing, and that was a lot of fun.
What about college before you were completely?
Yeah. So I did that for a while, did that out of college. There was a lot of free time and flexibility, and I really liked that. There wasn't, what should I say? There wasn't 40 hours of work to do at this job. And so eventually, when I was ready to trade some of my freedom and flexibility for some more money, I was like, okay, let's look for more clients. So then it kind of slowly, organically unfolded to the point where it was like, okay, I feel called to business. I've been trying all this other business related activity and nothing is working. I'm failing all over the place. Why don't I treat my freelancing thing like my actual business? And so it's like, all right, I've got to find more work. I've got to either decide to say no to work or I've got to bring on people to help. And I feel called to business. So I was like, all right, let's turn this into a business, see what happens here.
And so how many people did you end up hiring?
How many people did I end up hiring, or how many people are with me right now?
Well, I guess it's kind of comes and goes.
Yeah. Yeah, we have grown every year. Right now I've got 3 superb programmers that I get to work with, as well as an executive assistant. And I have hired many more people over the years. I have honed my hiring processes and improved that as well a lot.
So what are the types of things you had to do to transition from being a freelance consultant to being a business? What did you have to do legally? Did you have to open a line of credit? I mean, were there practical things that you had to do to get ready for this?
Yeah, as a freelancer, you can funnel all the money into your own bank account, and that's fine. You can technically do that as a business owner, but if you want any sort of legal protection, you have to set up an LLC or some sort of organizational structure, file it with the government. So that's what I did 10 years ago, as well as setting up your own bank account so that you keep your personal and business accounts separate. Those are both really important steps. As far as what does it take to grow the business, what sort of transition did I have to personally do? Much more than the organization is I went from being the provider of the work to having to pass that along to other people where other people could join me in programming. And then I had to learn a new job. I had to get rid of the things that I was very proficient at, learn how to be a business owner, learn how to be an administrator, learn how to do the finances, learn how to do forecasting, learn how to do budgeting, learn how to do HR. All of these things that you don't think of when you're freelancing and it's just you and you don't have to manage all of that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Was that hard for you?
Yes. I mean, yes and no. There are some things that I was naturally better at, and there's some things that I was naturally worse at. But it's all a learning experience. I wouldn't say that learning is my biggest strength, but when I got to put learning together with the goal of building a business and growing it and helping more people, helping more employees, helping more clients, that was an amazing motivation for me to learn how to do new things and how to help more people and how to promote myself, I guess.
Yeah. So you mentioned all these different things that you had to deal with now. And one of the things that many people who leave salaried work have to deal with is financial uncertainty. Now, you did not have, a steady paycheck before you started your business, but you did have a lot more obligations and a lot more people who were responsible or who you were responsible for when you launched your business. You probably had to make some investments, not only in extra people helping you, but maybe additional equipment. And at the same time, you have a family and financial obligations, your own bills to pay. How did you weather that uncertainty? And was it scary?
Yeah, that's a great question. When I first hired my first full-time employee, for the first month that they were there, I was scared. I was so scared that I wouldn't be able to pay them because, one, I'd never done this before. And so I hadn't had the experience of, yes, I can pay somebody else. Two, I was offering them a salary that was more than I had made previous year. So that was kind of scary too. But they are still with the company 8 years later. I've paid them every month. It worked out. There's been some other times where business sometimes goes up and it sometimes goes down, and sometimes you have control over it, and sometimes bad stuff just happens. And there's been times when we've had no income, I should say no salary for me for months at a time. And that's scary. It makes you question, are you in the right place? Are you in the right path? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Or am I personally messing the whole thing up somehow? But I said, God has always provided for us, and I believe he'll continue to do that on moving forward.
So it's been scary at times, but somehow you've made it work. When did you finally realize, okay, I've made it, I've got this? I mean, I know there's times when you still have to worry, but was there a specific point when a sense of security kind of grabbed you?
Well, there wasn't a particular point. It's more of, after you've been in this for 10 years, you've been through good times, you've been through bad times. You know that you have made it through, and just by the virtue of that, you know that you will continue to make it through. I think one important thing for all business owners and all people to do is set a vision that's bigger than themselves. Like CodePro's vision is we want to help 100 billion people do more of what they love by November 2030. And keeping your eyes on that vision when things are good, when things are bad, keeps you moving forward. Like it gives you a goal to stretch for, reach for, to do something more that's bigger than yourself. And that helps you when you run into those bad times. Like, wait a minute, I'm not doing it just to survive. I'm doing this for something bigger.
Well, that's a really good stretch goal to give, or a mission to give to people who are starting their own firms. For people who are leaving, I know that you didn't go through this personally, but just based on your experiences setting up a business, what type of advice would you give to people who are contemplating leaving the security of a salaried job to start their own firm?
Yeah, I read some interesting statistics recently. Something like 60% of people say starting your own business is a good idea. 40% of it says it would be easy to have your own business, which is false, but they say that. And compare that with less than 1% of people have actually started their business. So there is a little disconnect of fear in there. So I would say, as you're considering leaving your salaried career to start a business, one, don't jump in blindly. Find your first customer before you leave. And two, don't let fear stop you. So coming at it from both sides, like do it and do it smart.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
I mean, the biggest thing, I guess, that I would say to people that usually enter business are people that are good at the thing. They're good at doing car detailing. They're good at auto mechanics. They're good at programming. But business is something more than that. Business is organizing people, finding the projects, HR, accounting, legal stuff. And there are lots of people and contractors and helpers that can help with those things, but eventually the responsibility comes to you. So just remember, as you're looking to make the leap, you've got to find the projects. That's more important than being able to execute on them because you're already probably really good at executing on them.